welcome to yet another edition of Lawyers and Lasses Weekly Discussion. Today we'll be having a discussion on the Open Government Partnership, OGP, as a means towards transparency, accountability, and participatory governance in Nigeria. Now, this morning we'll be looking at the OGP, what it is, what is not, and how it can promote open, transparent, and participatory government or governance in Nigeria. So somebody at this juncture, and my name is Lazarus Emahamba. I am the programs director for Lawyers Alert, and I'll be your host this morning. So let's set the ball rolling. Somebody at this juncture will ask, what is the Open Governance Partnership, or what is OGP? Yeah, the OGP is more or less like a mechanism, or it's an international multipurpose coalition that has been formed by countries around the world to promote governance, good governance. Is a multilateral agreement, stakeholder agreement that has been agreed, or that was formed by countries around the world to promote good governance, participatory governance, transparent governance, accountable governance that will be of benefit to the people out there. Its aim is to make government transparent, participatory, and accountable to the people. Now, somebody will ask, why is it necessary to have a participatory, transparent, and accountable government? It is necessary because government is all about the people. We all know about that rudimentary definition of democracy, where they say government is for the people, of the people, and by the people. So if government is truly of the people, for and by the people, then it becomes mandatory. It goes without saying that such a government should be truly accountable to the people that own it. If you look at the Constitution of Nigeria, it starts with the word "we, the peoples of Nigeria," meaning it's a collective thing. It's not a sectoral thing where a single part is in and another is out. It's something that is collective, that is open. So government is an open and participatory thing. That is what the OGP is trying to create. Now, somebody would still argue and say that accountability, participation, and transparency in governance is not new. Yes, I concede to that. Transparency, accountability, and participation in governance is not new. These are issues that the civil society and other reformers have been pushing for long. So what OGP is trying to do is build upon these principles. The principles of accountability, the principles of participation, and the principles of transparency in governance. Now, the difference between OGP, what OGP has brought new onto the table, is that OGP is saying that government and the people represented by the civil society should be co-creators. They should form this partnership, this bond, this synergy between the two. That is why, if you look at the structure of the OGP, which we'll be delving into shortly, it deals with having the civil society and government coming together to co-create. That is, being in partnership together as a people, as a group, as a unit, to run the affairs of the state, to run the affairs of the government for and on behalf of the people. Now, having said that, we'll say the OGP was launched as a digital platform for domestic reformers of government to make government more open, more accountable, and more responsive to the needs of the people. So, as it is, OGP was formed along commitment lines. There are 14 commitment areas in the OGP, but these 14 commitment areas are under 4 key thematic groups. Under 4 key thematic sections. The first one has to do with fiscal transparency. Then we have anti-corruption, which is the second. We have access to information and citizens engagement. I will take it again. There are 4 key thematic areas under the OGP: fiscal transparency, anti-corruption, access to information, and citizens engagement. Now let's take one after the other. What is fiscal transparency? Fiscal transparency connotes that all issues of money, the income and expenditure of government, should be open and participatory. We are talking about issues of budget, issues of fiscal frameworks, issues of revenue frameworks, and all these issues. We all know that under our Fiscal Transparency Act, the FTA, which was signed into law in 2007 by the Yar'Adua regime, it outlined some key issues concerning fiscal transparency. It talked about the medium-term expenditure framework, the medium-term revenue framework, and other frameworks within the fiscal structure of our country. And it is saying, so what the OGP is saying is that these fiscal legal frameworks, these fiscal frameworks that are embedded within the fiscal structure of a state should be managed between government and the people. There should be that partnership in the management of our fiscal structures in such a way that it will be transparent and open for everybody. For instance, if the MDAs are drafting their medium-term expenditure framework, how much of it is open and transparent to the people? How much of our revenue framework is open to the people? How much of our budgetary system as a whole, in totality, is open to the people? And so these are the issues that OGP is trying to project. It's saying that the people have a right to have a say or to know what is happening to the physical transparency of their country. So that is what OGP is trying to bring to the table. Then the second issue that we are talking about is the issue of anti-corruption. What are they are saying how transparent or how incorruptible, how physically transparent is our governance. Now, for that transparency to be sustained and deepened, there is need for both government and the citizens to work as partners in the anti-corruption drive. That was why, which was the issue of anti-corruption should be people-driven. People should drive the anti-corruption process, so that we know that with the view towards bringing down our corruption indices. And still, there are other laws. We have laws under the anti-corruption angle that promotes, like the Public Procurement Act, the EFCC Act, so many other laws within this framework that promotes anti-corruption. So what the OGP is saying is that government should try to be as less corrupt as possible, and that has to be with the citizens being actively involved in the drive against anti-corruption. The next one is access to information. Now, how much of information is going out to the people? How much of governance issue are people aware of? What do they know about governance? When they need an information, how quickly and how free is that information made available to the citizens seeking them? That brings us to the issues of laws. We have the access to we have the freedom of information law, which is the basic and most powerful law that makes information accessible to the people. But the issue now is that how implementable is the Freedom of Information Act or the Freedom of Information Law to the people. So these are the things that OGP is trying to promote. Then we come down to the final, which is citizens engagement. Citizens engagement simply talks about a dialogue mechanism, a joint review system, and then technology-based feedbacks that people can begin to interact with government, people can begin to engage government on. We're talking about town hall meetings, we're talking about conferences between seminars and other feedback mechanisms that people can have with government. We're talking about legislation on transparency and accountability. And then most of all, we're talking about technology-based approach. Like if you look at it, within the one of the commitment areas of the OGP is how to make technology how to mainstream technology in governance. For instance, how much the government can come up with devices or systems where people can begin to report on projects that are being carried across or carried in their projects that are being executed or carried out within their domains. For instance, if a bridge is being built in your area, and you know for certain that a contractor has been paid, has been mobilized to go and build that bridge, and then he's saying somewhere else that he has completed the bridge, while you that's living in that area knows that that bridge has not even been made, let there be a mechanism whereby the people can send messages to government that look, what this contractor is saying is not what is actually obtainable. You can just pick up your phone and be able to have a device or a software or something, a technologically propelled method whereby citizens can feedback, can give government a feedback mechanism on what is happening in government. That's what that particular commitment is saying. So, at the national level, the OGP has been, should I say, successful? Yes, to a certain extent. Since government signed up to the OGP in 2016, it has kicked off at the federal level. The federal government has signed up to it, and about 10 states so far have signed up to the OGP. But if you look at it, out of a country of 36 states, only 10 have signed up to it. That leaves 26 that still have not yet signed. Now, how does the OGP work? The OGP works, like I said earlier on, in a participatory framework. We have two co-chairs, a co-chair from the government angle and another chair from the civil society angle, working in partnership to promote the OGP. It's not something that the government will sit alone and say, well, we are running it, or the civil society will sit alone and say, no, we are the ones running it. It's supposed to be a joint thing where they will both come to the table, they come together at this common table and agree on the main issues that they think that they can drive under the OGP. And at the end of it all, the people will be better for it. Governance will be better for it. Everybody will be better for it. So, what obtains at the national level is still what is supposed to be obtained at the sub-national level. Matter of fact, the founders of the OGP really want the OGP to flow more at the sub-national level than at the national level. It says that that the successful action plan must be ambitious and stretch government beyond its current level of practice. What he's saying is that governance should push. I mean, transparency governance should not be just at the national level. It should come down to the sub-national level. And of course, if you look at Nigeria, the way it is, Nigeria governance is more closer to the people. It's closer to the people at the sub-national level. So if OGP is going to benefit the people of Nigeria, it is even more imperative for it to be operational at the sub-national level. So we should focus on states and regional institutions that have demonstrated readiness to reform. And then local NGOs should be ready to work at the sub-national level to begin to engage government to see to it that OGP is instituted at the sub-national level. In Benue State, we are coming closer home in Benue. In Benue, the civil society is beginning to converse along that line. It is our desire to see to it that the OGP is mainstream or signed up to in Benue because of the glaring or because of the benefits that we have already outlined. As earlier said, where the open government partnership is fully operational, there's bound to be transparency in governance, there's bound to be accountability in governance, there's bound to be participation of the people in governance, and where all these three things are fully operational, then government is said to be really, really democratic. Democratic in the sense that people are beginning to hold government to account for what it does. Government is beginning to be open, that people don't need to ask questions, who is what or who is not doing what. There are times when projects come up and you hear people arguing back and forth about the origin of the contract or what. I'll give you a practical example. There is this traffic light that came up in Benue recently around the Boburuku roundabout and some other strategic places in Makodi. And then you had people arguing, because is it a government contract? Is it a private contract? So many, but as we are speaking now, nobody has come out clear to say exactly what that is. If government was actually transparent, open, and accountable, such information will not be sought. It will be there for the asking. Everybody will be there to see it. Now, when was the last time government at the sub-national governments at the sub-national level published their end of year financial reports? Now, these are the issues that the OGP is trying to make work, where fiscal transparency, like end of year reports of government, people should be able to know, okay, at the end of the year, government should be able to come out clear to say that in this particular financial year, we received this totality of monies and we expended this totality of monies in so and so way and so and not. Clear for people to see, documented and open. But of course, you and I know that most states in Nigeria today, except for very few states that are publishing their end of year accounts. Most states don't do that. And that's which is why we say that the OGP is needed the most at the sub-national level. Because it's at the sub-national level that impunity obtains the most. At the federal level, yes, though there is impunity even at the federal level, but the impunity at the federal level is not as brazen as it obtains at the sub-national level. So sub-national government, states, owe it a duty to their citizens to sign up to the OGP, because it is the most veritable tool, it is the most effective and efficient method through which good governance can be beneficial to the people. So in a nutshell, that's what the OGP is, and that is what it brings to the table. So how do states get to sign up to the OGP? The first step for states to sign up to the OGP is to have the state government, because as it is, no state can sign up to the OGP. The civil society cannot get government to sign up to the OGP. Nobody can get government to sign up to it. The government has to make a deliberate effort by itself to say, hey, we in so and so state are ready to sign up to the OGP. And that must be done by the chief executive of that state, which is the governor. The governor will write to the secretariat, to the OGP secretariat, that we want OGP to be, we want to sign up to the OGP in our state. And once the governor does that, the drivers of the process, which is basically the civil society, will come together with government on a round table and agree amongst themselves which commitment areas they want to work on. Once those issues are agreed, the next step is to have the drivers of this process, both at the government and at the civil society arm. Government will elect its own co-chair, the civil society will bring its own co-chair, and the two leaders will work together as partners. Remember, at the beginning of this presentation, we say that OGP was a partnership-driven initiative. So the government itself must have its own person leading as a chair. The citizens represented by the civil society will have its own leader as a chair. So the two of them will be co-chairs, both working in harmony to drive the OGP process in the state. And once that is done, believe me, the OGP is home and dry in such a state. And so what are the benefits? The benefits are so many. I wouldn't want to start talking about, but for me, for us here, the biggest benefit of the OGP is the transparency and accountability it brings to governance in the state. But again, there are other benefits that come to any state that signs up to the OGP. International development partners like the World Bank, the IMF, the European Union, the UN systems, and so many other international partners are always up and up. They are always excited whenever any state signs up to the OGP. They give grants, they give aids, they give other development assistance to such a state, which begins to fast track development in any state that signs up to the OGP. Which is why we are saying that states like Benue that don't have the OGP, they owe it to their duty they owe it as a duty to their citizens, to their indigents, that they have to sign up to the OGP. Because signing up to the OGP has no disadvantages. It's a win-win-win-win-win situation. It will be a win-win for the government, it will be a win-win for the citizens, and most of all, it will be a win-win for everybody. So, these are the processes for setting up the OGP in any state. So, having said that, how do we begin to see to it that government signs up to the OGP in states where it's not operational? First thing we have to do is get the civil society working in those states to come up together as a unit and begin to engage, begin to talk, begin to dialogue, begin to pressure the government We need to have the media also to begin to ask questions, to begin to tell government about the OGP, and begin to build the capacity. So after engaging, we need to build our capacity as a second step towards getting the OGP signed. So these are basically what this presentation is all about. So in a nutshell, what have we said today? We are saying that the Open Government Partnership OGP is a very effective and efficient intervention which can bring about development, citizen empowerment, and everything that good governance brings to every state in Nigeria. On this note, I want to thank you so much for listening, and I will say, as a civil society expert, as a civil society activist, as a media person, whoever you are, whatever space that you are operating from, you owe it a duty to begin to sound the gospel of OGP. Begin to make, if you are working in a state where the OGP is not signed up to yet, I will ask you, I will plead your indulgence to begin to talk to people, talk to the media, to speak to government of such a state, including Benue and anywhere else, to sign up to the OGP for the good of everybody within that state. On that note, I want to say thank you so much for watching, and keep a day with us next week again. Thank you.